I just want to speak upon something really quick, y'all. When it comes to people, when it comes to control, right? And we as people, we feel like in this world that we feel like we need to have control. We feel like we should control somebody's outlook on the world. We feel like we should control, how people think, how they see things, or we should control their talents, or we should control like a lot of things when it comes to this world. But I want to ask y'all something really quick, and it corrects me if I'm wrong. When you have control over somebody or control over something, don't when you have control, you feel like you can walk all over the person because you got control, right? But what happens when you have all this control? You control how people. You have this control. You control how people think, how people eat, how people drink their water. You control all these things, but in the reality of things, but what happens when you lose that control? What happens when you lose that success? What happens when you lose that control? Because a lot of people think control is having money. People think when you control somebody, you have money, you have status, you have all these things that come with it, right? But I want y'all to ask y'all something, right? To me, when a person say they have control, because you can't control how a person thinks, you can't control how they eat, how they drink, how they do all these things, but we feel like we can be in control of somebody's life because we're not in control of ours. So if we can tell you anything and we can tell you all these things and we can just have a strict policy on you, like you're mine, I need you, you're mine, I'm going to control everything, right? When you have that paradigm, when you have that perspective on life, when it comes to anything in the world, what happens is you feel like they can't control themselves, but I can control it for them. Just like, for instance, right, when you have a certain talent, when you have talent, when you can rap, when you can sing, when you can do pop music. You ever notice when somebody is a singer or somebody is a rapper, the manager feel like, okay, I'm going to manage everything you do because I feel like you can't manage yourself. You see how that works? You ever notice when somebody's a rapper or an entertainer, he's not making the transactions when it comes to business, the manager is before he is? Because he feel like he don't have the knowledge or the intelligence to follow himself. When you be in a courtroom, right, and you have somebody called a lawyer or somebody that's helping you. You know how when the lawyer get up in the prison or the person that's in jail, the lawyer speak first because the lawyer has more intelligence on what they're talking about. So they won't allow the prisoner or the person that's in jail, he can't talk for himself. That's why the lawyer is even there in the first place, to talk for you, because they feel like you can't do it yourself because you don't understand the justice system. You see how that works? You see how that coincides to everything? And what happens is that when you have a level of control, when you believe in these things and you have level of control, what happens when, and because in this world, a lot of people that control everything are bad people, right? When it comes to religion, God, Jesus, Muhammad, when it comes to politicians, when it comes to rappers, celebrities, right? In your eyes, those are the superheroes. Those are the good people. But but you have to realize you need a villain too. You need a villain and a superhero. But what happens when the people that you believe in and the people that control your outlook on the world, what happens when they become the villain? What happens when the people you see walking down the street every day, what if they become the superhero and the people you watch on a regular basis become the villain? Hmm? What happens when your mind switch off, right? And now you feel like, and now when you, because your life has been a lie, you have been controlled on a regular basis. When it comes to the processed food, the school system, you have been lied to, right? So you've been controlled, right? When a person is controlled, they can't see anything else but but how they think. They only can see how they think and their perspective. That's the only thing they see. They only see the world every day. Because what I have noticed about certain people that have control, when they have like a big top environment where everybody like them, they control how they people everything. When you have a person like that, when they have control, what they would do is they would try to limit you down so you can't have the control that they have. You ever notice that? You ever notice that when you're an assistant in the office and you have the boss, she's controlling what you do today. But all she's going to do is she's going to limit you down so you can't be the boss also. But what happens when the bosses become the assistants and the assistants become the bosses, right? And that's how it feels right now. It feels like everybody in the world is assistants. They're being controlled. But at the boss level, they're telling you not to be. They're telling you you can't be the boss. They're telling you you can never reach this level a day in your life, right? You can never reach this level. But when you reach that boss level, and what happens is when the assistant reaches the boss level, what happens is that everything changes. Because how the boss thought, the other boss, when now you're the boss and you're assistant, you're not going to think like her. Your perspective on life is totally different from her. So that's why they're going to stop you from becoming the boss. Just like the world. They're going to stop you from telling the truth. They're going to stop you from doing things. They're going to stop you because they still want you to be controlled. When a person be in control, what happens is there will always be a point in time where they're going to lose control. They're going to be a point in time where he slip up. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to happen frequently in the world. A lot of people are slipping up because the control they had it for too long. The control they have is going to go away. You got to understand that. And you can see now that a lot of time people are slipping up, and the people that was the assistant, they are literally stepping up to the plate and say, hey, now I'm the boss. Now I run things. But I want people to explain something to me. Right? When you get to a point where you the boss and you control everything, right? Why would you want to have people that work for you? Why wouldn't you want to have people that work for themselves? You see? Because when you at a boss level, you can see that everybody in around you, they working for somebody else. That 9-to-5 job, you're working for somebody else. So you're not working for yourself. Me working for yourself is take care of who you are. Take care of who your higher self is. You know what I'm saying? And that's right there, to me, is working on yourself. Because why would I want you to work for me? See, but what I'm doing to you is I'm making you more of a slave. I'm telling you to work for me and do things for me. But for reality, the things you're doing, I could do for myself, right? But when you're the boss and you feel like you're in a higher status than everybody else and you feel like you're doing this, what's going to happen is when you're the boss of anything, when you feel like you can control people and you have authority over that person, what's going to happen is you're going to come to a point in your life where everything is going to become different. What I mean everything is going to become different is that you're going to be the boss and you're going to do these things, right? But sometimes what happens is, right, this is the funny part. This is how we live our lives every day. It gets boring. It gets on edge. You see? You see how you live out, you live your life, your whole entire life. You die, you wake up, you eat food, go to a 9-to-5 job. Same thing with a boss. He's going to get bored. So somebody else is going to have to take that lead, you see? And what happens is our whole entire life, have we been on this planet, we have been gotten bored. We have been gotten stagnant. We have been gotten comfortable. But what happens when that person say, nah, bro, I'm not comfortable no more. I'm tired, bro. I'm gonna do something else. And that's what's happening in the world right now. People are not getting comfortable. They're not getting stagnant. And that's what's gonna happen. A lot of things what's going to happen is people are going to step down from things. We're going to see a paradigm shift in reality. All these things are going to happen because the people that had control, what they're going to do is they're going to slowly dysfunction. They're going to slowly decay. Like when you die and you start decaying and your body just start, you see, that's happening right now at a faster rate. So when you have control over things, when anybody have control over somebody's lives, what's going to happen is the person that have control, they're going to dumb down and they're going to slip up. But when they slip up, the person that's the servant, the person that's the slave, the person that's their assistant, they're going to have to take that role and say, hey, bro, hey, I got it. Okay, boom. And that's what's happening in the world. People that should have already been on the higher scale, we're going to be on that higher scale now. We're walking out. You're going to see us now. And that's what's going to happen. Especially at the world that we're living in today, a lot of things is coming to the forefront, right? And you got to tell that control is something that you're basically controlling somebody or something. But when you have control, control never lasts for a long period of time. It's only so much you can control. You can control how a person thinks, you can control how a person eats, but when you have control, it's never going to last. It's never going to last long. So you have to realize that. You have to realize that the people that you work for a 9-to-5 job every day, they might not be there. So you might have to step up and have an awareness and the intelligence to say, I'm going to step up, but how I'm going to run things completely different how you run things. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's happening right now. People that have spiritual gifts that can help you, that can teach you, that's mentors, they're coming up to the forefront. You have people with gifts that got online powers and all these stuff. They're coming to the forefront now, and you're actually seeing them. Because the people that wasn't in control, they got bored, they got stagnant, and things are crumbling down for them in front of their eyes. And we have to realize that. We have to see that. You know, when you have control, when you have control over somebody, it never lasts long. You ever notice when that's like a parent, for example, right? The parent knows that when a child is born, their responsibility to take care of that child. That means I have control over you. But at the end of the day, you can't control me forever, because I have something that everybody has, is an open mind, is a free mind. You see, the parent can only teach you so much. Now the world supposed to teach you, but what happens is, when the world teach you, they teach you completely different what your parents taught you. You see what I'm saying? And now I have to break away from it. I have to break away from society. I have to break away from these things. Because, for instance, right, if a parent teaching you all these things, she can't teach you anything else. So she's gonna have to let you have to let you fly like a bird. She's gonna have to let you fly like a bird. She's gonna have to get your own wings. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. A lot of times people are controlled. People are being controlled, but what's happening is they're slowly decaying. The people that's being controlled, they're slowly dying. And that's what's happening on a real basis, you know? And I just want to, speak upon this, man, when I'm out.